Nigeria is a great nation, and it is our responsibility to make the country greater. Do not partake in any acts of corruption. Hello viewers, and thank you for joining us on another edition of The Eagle. My name is Aisha Gambari.
And I am Aisha Muhammad. Welcome to today's edition of the program.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
The prosecution witness in the ongoing trial of Ohakim, a former governor of Imo State, gives a blow-by-blow account of how the former governor allegedly made a cash payment of about $3 million for a piece of land in Abuja.
And just as Ohakim's trial is progressing, the trial of the former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, who is also being prosecuted on the 27-count charge alongside his two sons, Aminu Sule Lamido and Mustafa Sule Lamido, and two others by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, got underway before Justice Ademola Adeniyi of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, with the EFCC presenting 4 witnesses. Please stay with us as we bring you details of all this after this timeout.
For me to buy correct motor, for me to take make my dough.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC has secured the conviction of one Balogun Olaitan and his company, Dizok International Limited, before Justice MTM Aliyu of the Kaduna High Court, just as 2 fraudsters, Igo Agbana and Akara Eloho Anthony, backed 2 years jail term for $12,000 fraud. Please stay tuned. They are all dressed up in uniform clothing called Ashwebi, meaning family clothing in Yoruba. The culture evokes familiar resonance in the southwest of Nigeria, as no major social event or celebration could be said to be complete without it. Looking at those people, one will assume they are at a social event or political rally. Their mood is celebratory. Yes, they are celebrating, but the venue is not a campaign ground or an event center, but the hallowed premises of a courtroom. They are out to celebrate someone they called our hero. And guess who this hero is? An accused person who has been charged to court for corruption. Corruption, as we all know, is largely responsible for almost all the problems Nigeria faces today. Inadequate funding of education, dilapidated healthcare facilities, bad governance, epileptic electricity supply, inadequate water supply, bad roads, and a host of others. Mindful of this, government took steps to put in place measures to check corruption. One of such measures was the creation of agencies to wage war against the menace. Agencies like the EFCC, the Code of Conduct Bureau, and the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) were set up over a decade ago to tackle the malaise. In 2007, the EFCC arrested some former state governors over allegations of corruption. While everyone awaited the arrival of the accused persons in court, luxury buses filled with supporters wearing same-colored Nigerian waxes known as Ankara drove into the court premises. Everyone watched in profound amazement as they alighted from the bus, with a bold picture of one of the accused persons printed on the Ankara material they all wore. As if that was not enough, they immediately formed themselves into lines, unfolding some sort of colored cardboard papers rolled in their hands.
Solidarity forever.
The gentlemen of the press, we the people, the good people of Edo State, we are here today in solidarity, in support of our governor, the man that has taken this state from a terrible state of decadent paralysis when the military left us. Now it has earlier been tried, and we are not opposing the rule of law in this country, but the judiciary must take us. Yes. And we are here to show our solidarity for our governor. Yes. Governor Lucky Nusaka Igbiledion. Yes. And we are behind him, Conrad Conshine. Yes. At any moment of the day, we are with him. Yes. And we are using this one to tell the people of Edo State that this is injustice.
These messages were not sufficient for the crowd that witnessed the first arraignment of James Ibori, former governor of Delta State, before a federal high court in Kaduna in 2007. His supporters pulled down the walls of the court, all in the name of praise singing. So one begins to wonder, what has gone wrong with our people? What messages are these people sending to law enforcement and the international community?
What is unfortunate is lack of education about how corruption touches them. Because, look, it's not just about people stealing, it's what the economists call opportunity cost. Imagine what that money could do for you. We are complaining that the education system has collapsed. And it's probably true. We are talking about health services collapse. Yeah, that's probably true. Look at the infrastructures of this country. Now, so corruption is not separate from this. It's the money that will be used for these purposes which will benefit. That's the opportunity cost. That's what the economists say. So that's why education is key. You have to let people know, listen, it's not about this individual that is from the community. When there's poverty, does it discriminate against Hausa, Yoruba, or Igbo poverty? When you go to the hospital and there are no drugs, or the doctors are not there, or no facility, does it discriminate against people based on tribe or community? Okay, if you cannot get to where you are supposed to get to, or accident due to bad road, does it discriminate? So these are the kinds of things, and it will take time, but the earlier it is done, the better.
People celebrate impunity, people celebrate corruption. The aspect of the court you are seeing, it's just one aspect of it. Traditional rulers give titles to 419 people and people whose sources of income are actually questionable. So it's nothing new. It's just that in some cases, I actually thought that lessons had been learnt. After some people went to court with a cake and the person left the court premises directly for the prison. I think that should have been lesson enough for them, but if they continue on the path of infamy and other convictions continue to come, I think that number of attendance and associated behavior will definitely reduce. If you wear your uniform and you get there and individual are supporting, instead of entering his Rolls Royce, enters the Black Maria, you should know what to do. Maybe you can even support him by joining him in the Black Maria too, leaving your vehicle behind.
Could poverty have triggered a sense of loss of value in our people? Or are we losing our moral values?
Today, the institution of family has broken down. Respect for elders and constituted authority that used to be a cardinal principle in our society is now at its lowest ebb. Honesty where it does not pay has become meaningless. Symptoms of revolt loom large in the horizon. In short, Today, there is meaninglessness in philosophy, insecurity in politics, immorality in society, chaos in politics, corruption in economy, and even frustration in art, a lack of creativity in literature.
Corruption is a monster that has eaten deep into the fabrics of our society. Are we celebrating these people or supporting corruption? Are the handouts given to the rented crowd enough to solve their problems? These are questions that we all must think deeply about if we are serious about fighting corruption. But hope is not lost completely, as we have others who believe that whoever goes against the law should be made to face the full wrath of the law. This was evident at the arraignment of some alleged pension fraud suspects, where pensioners trooped into the court premises chanting support for the war against corruption and asking for justice. I wish many Nigerians will give their support to the war against graft so Nigeria can be cleansed of corruption.
There is victory for us in the struggle for our lives. There is victory for us forever.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Eagle on TV. In our next story, proceedings in the trial of former Imo State Governor Ikedi Ohakim before Justice Adeni Ademola of the Federal High Court Abuja has resumed. Kamli Gaby once again brings you an update. The report.
At the last sitting of the court, the prosecution witness gave a blow-by-blow account of how the former governor allegedly made cash payment of about $3 million for a piece of land at plot number 1098, Cadastral Zone A04, Asokoro District, otherwise known as number 60 Kwame Nkrumah Street, Asokoro, Abuja. The prosecution witness, Ishaya Dauda, said investigation into the alleged offense began in 2010 after the commission received petitions coupled with intelligence reports. Led in evidence by the prosecution counsel Festus Keyamo, Dauda, a senior detective superintendent SDS with the EFCC, said the accused person, who served as Imo State Governor between 2007 and 2011, was invited to the EFCC office in 2013. According to him, the accused person was given the EFCC asset declaration form to fill, in addition to his statements that were obtained 5 times between 2013 and 2015. Copies of the 5 statements, which were obtained on January 25, 2013, January 31, 2013, June 18, 2015, June 22, 2015, and June 29, 2015 were tendered and admitted in evidence as exhibits, EFCC 1-5. Given further evidence, Dauda said the accused person made copious statements regarding the said property. Working on intelligence reports, the witness said after the accused person had declared his assets, it was discovered that there was no banking transaction for the purchase of the property. He added that it was discovered that only cash payment was made in respect of the property. Dauda said, and I quote, "We took the accused person to the property. When we brought him back to our office, we asked him who owns the property, and he said he rented the property through one Abu Sule, Managing Director, Twinex Consortiate HD Limited. Abu Sule, who initially denied ownership of the property during interrogation by the EFCC, said the accused person gave him $2.2 million, which was equivalent of 270 million naira as at that time in one payment." End of quote. In his further testimony before the court, Dauda said Abu Sule said he bought the property from one Alhaji Isa Muntair Dabino. He also said after receiving the money from the accused person at the Imo State Government House in Asokoro, Abuja on a certain night, Abu Sule made the cash payment to Alhaji Isa Muntair Dabino. Both the accused person and Abu Sule were said to have entered into a tenancy agreement so as to give the impression that the former had rented the property from Twinex Consortiate HD Limited. Dauda further told the court that Muntair Dabino, during interrogation, confirmed receipt of cash payment to the tune of $2.2 million from Abu Sule. He added, and I quote, Abu Sule also said the accused person issued a Fidelity Bank check for 20 million naira as rent for 2 years. He, however, said that he used the money to renovate the property and another property in Asokoro. End of quote. According to him, when the accused person was confronted with the disclosure by Abu Sule, he owned up to the ownership of the property. He said both the accused person and Sule were later invited to the EFCC office, where they disagreed on the mode of payment. While the accused person claimed he had made the payment in installments, Sule debunked that statement, saying that he, the accused person, made cash payment to him. Justice Ademola has fixed November 12th and 13th, 2015 for cross-examination and further hearing. It will be recalled that Justice Ademola had admitted Ohakim to bail on Thursday, July 9th, 2015, following his arraignment on Wednesday, July 8th, 2015, by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on a 3-count charge bordering on money laundering.
Cheers! What is it?
Please, keep to yourself.
I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
yes,
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Juva Magadam.
Chief, is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past?
Nevertheless, unless you kill somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you.
Hey!
Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe and water. I embezzled the money at the fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fly especially now that the people of EFCC are chasing people who are doing to submit other people's money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief,
jail. How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people they didn't die of hunger and neglect. Be careful. EFCC, I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
And just as Ohakim's trial is progressing, the trial of his Jigawa state counterpart, Sule Lamido, who is also being prosecuted on a 27-count charge alongside his 2 sons, Aminu Sule Lamido and Mustafa Sule Lamido, and 2 others by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC), began before Justice Adeniyi Ademola of the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja, with the EFCC presenting 4 witnesses. Please stay tuned as Rolake Odofin Jolayemi reports.
The witnesses who testified as PW1, PW2, PW3 and PW4 respectively are Longji Tsupkop, a relationship manager with the United Bank of Africa (UBA), Kabir Mashi, regional manager, Unity Bank PLC Kano North, Mustafa Baba, and Onyiche Agbagara of Unity Bank PLC and Keystone Bank respectively. Tsupkop, while being led in evidence by prosecuting counsel Chili Okoroma, stated that he was in court to present account statements for one of the bank's customers, Dantata and Sawe Construction Company. Explaining some of the transactions that were reflected on the documents between April 23rd and 26, 2013, Tsupkop told the court that the first entry on the 23rd of April 2013 was a clearing check of over 7 million naira in favor of one Bamena Holdings Limited. Another check of the same amount was drawn in favor of Speeds International Limited, and yet another check of over 7 million naira was in favor of Gada Construction. He explained further that the checks were returned on the 23rd April 2013 because they were not confirmed. The documents of the account opening package of Dantata and Sawe were tendered and admitted as exhibits. Also testifying, Mashi, the PW2, told the court that his bank was subpoenaed and that he was in court to tender the statement of account and account opening packages of Speeds International Limited, Bamena Holdings Limited, and Alhaji Sule Lamido. However, the admissibility of the document was contested by the defense counsel Joe Agbi, SAN. In his argument, he said the subpoena was specific about which documents to bring. According to him, Mashi only brought the application for the reactivation of the account, which presupposes that an account already existed. In his words, and I quote, "The witness is a special witness subpoenaed by the court to bring certain documents, and since all court orders must be obeyed, the witness must bring the particular documents he was asked to bring." End of quote. He prayed the court to discountenance the documents. Responding, Okoroma opined that the document is admissible based on its relevance.
He urged the court to overrule the objection of the defense. After the brief argument, Justice Ademola admitted the documents in evidence, saying it was relevant and admissible. PW3 Baba presented the account opening package of Alhaji Sule Lamido, while Agbagara PW4 presented the statement of account and account opening package of Dantata and Sawe Construction Company. The documents were also admitted in evidence. Justice Ademola adjourned the case to November 24th and 25th for further hearing. Lamido allegedly abused his position as governor between 2007 and 2015 by awarding contracts to companies where he held interests, using his two sons as front. The former governor was equally alleged to have collected kickbacks from contractors in the state, with the funds allegedly paid into accounts that were managed by his sons. Rolake Odofin Jolaimi, reporting for the Eagle.
The trial of Imagbon Akon Esunte, an accountant with the Nigeria Prison Service who is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC on an 11-count charge of money laundering, conspiracy, forgery and abuse of office, continued before Justice E.S. Chukwu of the Federal High Court Abuja, with the anti-graft agency presenting more evidence against her and her co-accused. Olufemi Adeyemi reports.
Esu Inte is being prosecuted alongside Olukolade Olabamiji, a businessman, Mohammed Abdul Kadir, a banker, and 3 companies, Royal Mall Nigeria Limited, Transfers Ventures, ID Integrated Petroleum, whom are alleged to have been involved in committing the fraud. Justice Chukwu had on June 10, 2015, dismissed an application by the accused persons seeking to quash the corruption charges. At the resumed sitting, prosecution witness Sini Omar tendered all the statements written by the accused persons before the court as evidence. Under cross-examination by defense counsel, Titus O. Ashaolu told the court that the procedure employed in obtaining the statements from the accused persons followed professional procedures and was according to world best practices. During the questioning, Ashaolu had insinuated that Omar threatened all accused persons at one point or the other and initially denied them administrative bail in order to get confessional statements from them, an accusation Omar denied. While stressing that at no time were the accused persons denied any legal representation, and that contrary to the claims made by the accused persons, Esu Inte was never denied administrative bail. He said the accused persons were granted administrative bail on the same day that they were arrested, but couldn't meet the bail conditions set out. He went further that once a suspect is arrested and granted bail, if the suspect fails to meet the bail conditions, the EFCC retains such suspect in its custody until the bail conditions are met. He further stressed that at no time were the accused persons threatened, adding that as a standard for granting administrative bail, EFCC gives 2 serving directors as a prerequisite, and they must have landed property within Abuja and be ready to submit their international passports. However, in their case, none of them was able to meet the conditions, and EFCC had to bring down the bail conditions. And now, to convictions. On October 13, 2015, the EFCC secured the conviction of Igo Agbana and Akara Eloho Anthony to 2 years imprisonment before Justice Shitu Abubakar of the Federal High Court, Warri, Delta State. The convicts, who were docked on a 2-count charge of conspiracy and altering of forged documents, were sentenced to 2 years imprisonment without an option of fine on each of the counts. Justice Abubakar also ordered that the convicts return the sum of $12,000 to their Hong Kong victim. The National Intelligence Agency, NIA, had petitioned the EFCC in June 2013 on behalf of the victim, accusing Agbana and Anthony of engaging in fraudulent activities. The convicts were said to have conspired and forged the Federal Republic of Nigeria driver's license with the name Prital S. Atwal and used it to open accounts with a branch of a New Generation Bank in Warri, Delta State to defraud their victim. Also convicted to 8 years imprisonment is one Balogun Olaitan and his company, Disok International Limited, before Justice MTM Aliyu of the Kaduna High Court. The convicts were docked on a 6-count charge of obtaining money under false pretense to the tune of 12 million naira. Until his arrest and prosecution by the EFCC, Olaitan, who operated Wonder Bank, had specialized in collecting money from unsuspecting victims with promises of an attractive return on their investments. However, when he defaulted in making the payments promised, the victims petitioned the EFCC. Delivering judgment, Justice Aliyu convicted the accused persons on count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6, but discharged them on count 5. He sentenced the first accused person, Olaitan, to 8 years imprisonment on each of the counts. The sentences will, however, run concurrently. The second accused, Desok International Limited, was fined 50,000 naira on each count. Olufemi Adeyemi, reporting for the Eagle.
What is it?
Please, keep to yourself.
Chief Urabo, I got a telephone call.
Anytime I close my eyes,
Yes.
I see dead people chasing me in my sleep.
My Jova Magadam.
Is it possible for someone to become restless just because of his past?
Nevertheless, unless you accuse somebody dead, then the spirit will be haunted you. Was you all contractors?
I embezzled all the money for the roads that are now death traps, killing people every day. I approved the supplies of fake drugs on pipe and water. I embezzled the money. I dey fear, Chief.
You are supposed to fly a special man that the people of EFCC and chase people who are doing to submit other people money. EFCC, as soon as they capture them, straight to prison.
Chief, jail.
How you are? Life are not just about acquire wealth, making money. When other people are getting die of hunger and neglect, be careful. EFCC I watch.
EFCC will get you anywhere, anytime.
Thank you, Olufemi, for that report. And that brings us to the end of this week's edition of The Eagle. We hope you will continue to tune in as we bring you interesting updates about the activities within the EFCC. Please don't forget to send your feedback to us via The Eagle at efccnigeria.org or search for us on Google Plus at Official EFCC or Official EFCC NG at gmail.com.
You can also like our page on facebook.com/official EFCC or follow us on Twitter at official EFCC. And to watch our programs and other activities, please log on to youtube.com/official EFCC. My name is Aisha Mohammed. Good evening.
And I'm Aisha Gambari, hoping to see you next time. God bless Nigeria.